I tend to bristle at the word need. I don't think psychotherapy is a need. Air is a need. Food is a need. You look at Maslow's hierarchy, you don't see therapy wedged in somewhere between like friendship and self-esteem issues. I do think that anybody could benefit from therapy so long as what they want to collaborate on can be addressed in therapy. I don't necessarily think that therapy has to be corrective. I look at it as a developmental process, and we're always going to be developing. And
Mm.
I guess the lame, broad answer that I would give is it really depends on what kind of therapy the person is looking for.
Let me offer something because this is a really good point for to jump off for debate. Stephanie Wynn and I had a conversation about this, and she brought something to my mind that I've changed my mind around because I used to think that too. And I don't think that everybody needs a therapist. I think the pendulum swung from nobody talks about mental illness to everybody needs a therapist, and we've kind of gone too far, except for certain demographics like tough guy professions, plumbers, pipe fitters, law enforcement, firefighters, airline pilots. There's still pockets where the stigma is very real, and it's not necessarily about getting help. It's about what does everybody perceive you to be when you ask for that help. So I want to put that asterisk on there and set that aside. But what Stephanie brought to my attention is the idea of therapy being medically necessary and consultation as a different concept, which is more of what you just described. And I really like that because it communicates to the consumer base, the audience to which we'd be offering these services, that therapy, that word, can stay nested within the medical model, be time limited, targeted to heal illness. And I like that because it aligns with physical therapy as well, and speech therapy and occupational therapy and all the other therapies that we know. And if you go beyond that, beyond basic healing, back to normal stasis, and you want to enhance, then you'd hire somebody like a personal trainer if it's physical to get better at your thing, or a coach if you're in a sport. And I think we could probably serve in that role as well for lifelong accelerated enhancement of one's own inner discovery, exploration, self-actualization. And I think that probably has a very legitimate purpose in society, but I think we need to delineate those for the broader audience because there's a lot of confusion. So we end up with, everybody needs a therapist because even though I'm healed from my illness, I still want to keep pursuing this because there's more depth, and, human psyches have endless depth to them. So I think if we can demarcate that, we can also appease the managed care insurances who are usually paying for the illness correction and honor the person's personal path to perpetual growth and still be of an aid of some sort without creating dependence.